So in the last 14 days, maybe revision will work, but revision will hardly get you like maybe 10 questions or 15 questions more. So focusing more on the content is not the ideal thing. But what you have to do the question papers, at least last 10 years of PYQ, and you have to practice the elimination techniques. That is something that we'll be focusing in this session. So the elimination questions, for the fact that close to 38 questions could have been solved in the last 2025, if you have mastered the elimination techniques, that is why I'm telling you elimination techniques are the key for you to clear the prelims. The most important thing, as I told before, it's very hard for you to improve your content in these last 14 days. If you're scoring 50 to 70 ABI, then let me tell you, you need to master the elimination techniques if you want to clear the 2026 prelims. So, as all of you know, we have close to like 16 or 70 days left for the prelims. I know all of you are very tense right now, but do make sure that you take care of your physical and also your mental health. If you want to practice meditation, you can try that. If you want to practice yoga, you can try that. Have good food. Delhi is known for junk food, and whatever places you are from, don't try to eat any junk food from today. Take care of your health, take care of your mental health. That's the first thing that I want to say. Now, all of you are here not to listen to all this, but let's come straight to the topic here. Now, you must have seen different YouTube videos out there which tells you what you have to do in the last 14 days. And most of the videos just plainly says that focus on the 4 major core subjects, do FLTs, focus on revision. But none of the video actually gives you a very concrete plan on what you have to do in the last 15 days. Now that is why here in this video, I'm going to be giving you the real plan, the time and tested plan, which I have given to my previous mentees and also when I mentored the students in 2025. And that's actually one of the reasons that close to 1/3 of my students, when I worked in the previous academy, cleared prelims in 2025. So trust me when I say this is what you have to do. And this is the best plan out there, which will help you to clear or ace the 2026 prelims. Now, what are the 3 things that you have to focus upon? Very basic things. The first one is a content part. Now, content pe kya focus karna hai? Mostly the micro themes. I'll dive very deep into all of this, but just to give you an idea regarding the same, we'll be focusing on the micro themes. We should be focusing at least 5 years of content from 2021 to the 2025 paper. You need to be solving it multiple times and you need to study the content of the same. Right. The third one, you need to focus on the current affairs, because when you compare the 2025 paper, close to 38 questions or 37 questions came from the current affairs, especially the science and technology part, especially the IR part, the sports and news. You have to focus on that. So the first one regarding the content, I'll dive deeper. Second one regarding the elimination. Now, so all of you know, it's very hard to improve your content in these last 14 days. Now, how many of you think that content alone will actually help you to clear prelims? Do you feel so? Content se kitna question milega? Maybe like 35 questions at a max, right? Or 30 questions as a max. But what is the other, from where do you get the additional, or let's say 20 or even 30 questions? That is where logic comes into place, right? So in the last 14 days, maybe revision will work, but revision will hardly get you like maybe 10 questions or 15 questions more. So focusing more on the content is not the ideal thing, but what you have to do the question papers, at least last 10 years of PYQ, and you have to practice the elimination techniques. That is something that we'll be focusing in this session. And also regarding the question solving. Now you must have done itna sare FLTs, you must have been making certain silly mistakes, right? So what do you have to do in order to improve that? How we have to mark the OMR? Everything we'll be discussing in this session. Now firstly, as I said, coming on to the most important thing, the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the plan for the last 14 days. Now, what do you have to do? Let me tell you, in the next 3 days, all of you have to complete all the portions. Let's say, for example, आपकी polity session बाकी है. क्या करना है? Polity आप खत्म करो. आपकी science and technology बाकी है. वो आप खत्म करो. So, whatever portions is pending for you, you try to complete it in the next 3 days. Okay. And make sure that either May 10th or May 14th is the last FLT that you do. Okay. So at least 10 days gap or at least 14 days gap should be there. So therefore, May 10th or May 14th should be the last FLT. Now, why do I say that? Let's say, for example, you attempt an FLT on May 14th or May 18th and you score very less marks on the same. You'll feel very demotivated, right? Because in just 1 week, you won't be able to improve your scores. So you'll feel very demotivated. That's why at least 10 days of buffer, at least 14 days of buffer you need to do. So make sure that you attempt your last FLT either our open test on May 8th, May 13th, or you can even finalize by May 10th. Now what do you have to do? First of all, mostly I guess all of you are part of my elimination program as well. First of all, you need to watch the 4 main elimination foundational videos. Now in these foundational videos, for those who don't know the same, I'll tell you, this is where I teach all the elimination techniques. Now close to 15 elimination techniques are there. So in these 4 videos, 4 into 2, close to 8 hours, I teach you each and everything. I talk about the exceptions, I talk about what are the different techniques, the specific, general, word deconstruction, all the different techniques out there. So make sure that on the May 10th, you need to watch all the foundational videos. Now, if you have not subscribed to the course, you need to buy the course. Let me tell you, that is going to be the game changer between you and qualifying your prelims. Now, let's get to the real plan here. So, what do you need to do? On May 11th, as I said, at least 10 years of PYQs is something that you need to solve, right? So, 2016, let's start with 2016. Okay. So on the 11th of May, you need to complete the 2016 question paper. Now, how do you have to do? You have to solve the paper from 9:30 to 11. So you should not be taking close to 2 hours for the same, because all of you know, like close to the 90% of the questions, you know the answer to the same. So make sure that you maximum take at least 1 hour or 1.5 hours. After that, what you need to do? You need to study the evergreen content of the same. Now, what do we mean by the evergreen content? Let's say, for example, you can skip all the questions wherein the current affairs was asked. You don't need to study the content of the same. Let's say, for example, any environment submit happened. Or let's say, for example, any international submit happened. Any international issues happened. That is the reason why that particular question was asked in 2016. Now, is it relevant for 2026? No. Rather, what do you need to do? Let's say, for example, a question came on air pollution. Now, air pollution question tends to have a repetitive value, right? Even in 2026, that is relevant. So make sure that when you actually study the content for the same, you only study what? You completely ignore the current affairs questions of which was asked in 2026, and you only focus on the evergreen topics. Evergreen topics are what? Which tend to have a repetitive value. So this is what you have to do. So from morning 9:30 to 10 or 11, you do the question paper and then you study the content of the same. And then what do you need to do? You need to dedicate at least 1 day for each and every subject, right? Let's say, for example, polity. Polity pe dhyan dein, right? Firstly, what should you do? You should not be focusing on reading the Lakshmikant. You should not be focusing on making of the constitution, preambles, silent features or everything. Rather, you need to firstly focus on the most important current affairs of this particular year, right? So firstly, complete the current affairs of polity. And then if time permits, then what do you need to do? You need to focus on your weaker areas. Let's say, for example, Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 is weaker for you. Speaker and Deputy Speaker is weaker for you. Then you need to focus on that. Now, make sure that if you're weaker in citizenship, you don't need to read the same, because citizenship is not an important micro theme, right? Hardly one question came in 2021 in the last 10 years. So do this. Firstly, focus on the current affairs. Then focus on the weaker areas. The weaker areas should be micro themes. Once again, I'm saying. And then what do you do? If time permits, then you go from top to bottom. Now, what do I mean by top to bottom? Pehle parliament karo. Because parliament pe in the last 10 years, 35 questions have come. Next, what you have to do? You have to go from fundamental rights, fundamental duties. Just by close to 29 questions have come. Then go to judiciary. Aise niche jana. Don't study from page to page. Don't go from constitutionalism to preamble to silent features to everything. No, that's not the way to do it. Go from top to bottom on the basis of number of PYQs asked. Now do the same thing for the second day. What do you have to do? 9:30 to 11, you do the 2017 question paper. Then you study all the evergreen content for the same. And then you study economic current affairs and then focus on the weaker areas and then focus on the micro themes. Now this is what you have to do. We'll be sharing the plan regarding the same in the Dominant Prelims official group. So till 18th of May, you have to do the same. Then what you have to do? On the 19th, 20th and 22nd. Okay, what do you have to do? You have to solve as the way you solve the question paper in the actual prelims. Now the same thing, the only addition here is that you will also be doing the CSAT question paper here. Now would 3 years of CSAT paper suffice? Let me tell you, definitely yes. Because if you do the 2022 questions, 21 questions, 2020 questions, they are very easy. But UPSC have basically upped the difficulty with respect to CSAT. 2023 was very, very hard. 24 was a bit hard. 2025 was also comparatively harder when compared to 2024. So only the last 3 years of CSAT would suffice. So either 2023 or 2022. 2023 is very hard, I would say. Okay, you can do 2023. So from 2:30 to 4:30, you do the 2023 paper. From 9:30 to 11:30 or 11, you do the JS paper as well. And all the pending topics which is there, which you have not completed in here. So here, 11th of May, you have completed polity, 12th of May, economy, 13th of May, geography, 14th of May, environment, 15th, science and technology, 16th, modern history, 17th, ancient medieval art and culture, 18th, you have completed international relations. So all those portions which is pending for you, especially let's say, for example, 19th page, you can focus on the polity pending portions, focus on the big four. Polity, if any pending portions are there, you can focus on May 19th. 20th page, you can focus on economy, which is the next big four. Then 21st page, you can focus on environment. 22nd page, you can focus on geography. So if any time permits, focus on the big four. And then 23rd, let's say your wish, if ancient sites are hard for you, then you can focus on that. Let's say, for example, world mapping is very hard for you. You can focus on that. So essay, you can do for the 23rd as well. So you must be doing close to 10 years of PYQs. Make sure the first thing in the morning, you do the PYQs and then you study the content regarding the same. Before that, on May 10th, you watch all my elimination videos and you understand how to approach different and each and every question for the same as well. So 10 years of PYQs, 1 day each for every subject, and if time permits, focus on the big four as well. Okay? Now, the most important thing, as I told before, it's very hard for you to improve your content in these last 14 days. If you're scoring 50 to 70 ABI, then let me tell you, you need to master the elimination techniques if you want to clear the 2026 prelims. Let's be very practical here, right? Do you think that just by focusing on the content, you will be able to clear if you're scoring 50 ABI? Now, in my Salka experience, let me tell you, no. You have to master the elimination. Now, if you are already part of any of the course, let's say, for example, MAD, Dominate, or even if any other different academies have come up with the course, what do you need to do? First of all, revise all the elimination techniques, especially on May 10th. And after that, you start doing the PYQs. If you have not done the same, let me tell you, the best course out there, I can probably say that it will be the Dominate Elimination course. Okay, because it's very structured, 5 foundation lectures, 10 years of PYQs, 100 non-PYQ questions, practice questions also we are providing. So make sure that if you have not bought any course for the same, and if you have to clear prelims, let me tell you, this is going to be the deciding factor. So here, close to 10 to 15 elimination techniques, identifying the general and specific statements, multiple facts, extremes, identifying the spectrum, word deconstruction. All the ITNASARA techniques are some of the basics which you have to master. That is going to be the deciding factor. So the elimination questions, for the fact that close to 38 questions could have been solved in the last 2025, if you have mastered the elimination techniques, that is why I'm telling you elimination techniques are the key for you to clear the prelims, right? So what does the course offer? Let me give you a brief regarding the same. So 5 foundation lectures into 2 hours each, that's like 10 hours. So we'll be discussing close to 15 or 20 elimination techniques. I'm taking all the examples here. I'm also talking about all the assumptions out there. Now, some of the disadvantages of other academic courses out there, they don't tell you the assumptions. They will only give you the questions which actually add to their narrative. But we don't do that. We don't want to cheat you. We give all the assumptions and tell you that, okay, fine, this is one question where the logic did not work and each and everything. Also, you don't need to watch all the 10 years of PYQ Sabi because it's not literally possible for you to do the same because one video is close to 2 hours. So 2025, 1 to 50 is close to 2 hours. So it's not possible for you to watch. Rather, maybe if you want to watch, you can watch the 2 years of PYQ. Maybe 2025 and 2024. You can watch the same just to give you an idea on how you have to think with respect to each and every question. What are the different common traps in each and every topic and everything. Also, try to practice all the 100 practice questions also we are providing and watch the video on how I solve the same. If you're getting close to 80% accuracy in the same, let me tell you, close to 20 or 25 additional questions you will get in the upcoming prelims if you're getting close to 80% accuracy in the same. Okay. So these are the videos. So what should be the plan? Solve the PYQs from 9:30 to 10:30 or 11. Then you can watch the video and wherein I discuss only the elimination questions in the same 10 years of PYQ which I have just told you in less half an hour. Just skim through all the logical questions and then study the PYQ content as well from 11:30 to 3, or it will take you close to 2.5 hours in order to study maybe 30 questions or 40 questions which are evergreen in nature. Now, where do you study the content? Let me tell you, different academies out there, you will get the PDF of the same. If you're part of Dominant Prelims, then you don't need to look elsewhere because all of you know that we actually provide you the content regarding the same. Right. In every day, I'm posting like 50 questions on a daily basis. So again, you need to just rely to the content that we are providing. For those who are watching the webinar, if you're not part of Dominant Prelims, then different academies have done the same. Go through these PDF. Okay. Now, second thing regarding the content. Okay. Now, content pay, as I just told you, let's say for example, on May 11th, you are focusing on polity, right? Don't start with the micro themes. Don't start with parliament or something. Make sure that the first priority should be given to the current affairs. So, pehle kya karna hai? 20 years of RTI, deputy speaker abhi nahi hai itne saal ke baad. So, make sure you complete close to 20-30 important topics of the current affairs in polity. And then what do? You can go through the weaker areas. You're weak in schedule 5, you can weak in schedule 6, you can focus on that. And the next thing is, you focus on those topics which are increasing in nature. Let's say for example, if you look at here, in geography, in the recent years, critical minerals, rare earth and other minerals, the trend is very increasing, right? In 2023, they were asked about titanium. In 2024, they were asked about cobalt. In 2025, they have asked about China, rare earth, Chile, lithium, nickel, and then they have asked about Botswana, diamond. So minerals, Abhi is a very hot topic, right? So focus on the hot topics next. And then focus on the micro themes. Okay? So rare earth is a very important topic, Abhi. World geography, other natural resources that I just told you is very important. Climatology, temperature and heat budget is a very hot topic, Abhi. Because when you compare the last 10 years, close to 4 questions have come in the same. Right. So focus on all the hot topics. And then if time permits, what do you need to do? You need to follow the micro themes. From parliament to fundamental rights to judiciary to constitutional and non-constitutional bodies, you need to do the same. So, kaise karna hai? Firstly, go through the current affairs and then focus on your weaker areas and then go through the topics which are very hot in news. For example, as I just told you, which has been asked in the previous 2 to 3 years. And then if time permits, go through the very basic micro themes, parliament and everything. Okay. Now, this is something that all of you know, but Firbi, I'm just saying that. So, how do you need to focus? Let's say, for example, ancient history is a subject here. Ancient history pe, what is the important theme? Sites is an important theme, and you have to dive one more level deeper, right? So, sites pe kaun si topic important hai? Sites pe kaun si topic? Ashokan sites is an important topic, right? So, at least 3 levels deeper, you have to dive with respect to each and every topic. Polity pe, parliament is an important topic. Parliament pe, parliamentary group, parliamentary forum, all the different guillotines, motions are not significant. Parliament pe, mostly the deputy speaker are very important, right? All the bills, what happens to a bill, what happens to money bill, these are more significant. So always remember to dive 3 levels deeper and not focus on the whole and not give equal importance to the whole topic as a whole, right? So make sure that, let's say for example, medieval history pe, the social reform, especially Rajaram Mohan Roy was asked in 2025. Self-respect movement was asked in 2025. So 2 questions from social reforms. So social reforms is an area that UPSC is focusing more on, Abhi. So focus more on that areas in which have been repeating in the last 2 to 3 years. Okay. So this is what you have to do. Make sure you analyze the PYQs. If you already have this NYQ document, you can refer the same. Or you can go to the Civilsdaily website and download this document. Okay, in the website, it's already provided. So make sure you go through this document, understand what are the hot topics which have been asked recently in 2023 onwards, and focus mostly on that. And then if time permits, focus on the micro themes, other micro themes. Right. Now the third content is the second content is the PYQs, right? You have to study the PYQ content. Now, why do I say that? You have to study at least 5 years of PYQ content. Because if you actually analyze the same, in 2025, there was a question with respect to the isotherms, right? You can see here. In January, in the northern hemisphere, the isotherms bent equatorward while crossing the landmass poleward while crossing the rivers. The same question was asked in 2024, right? Regarding the isothermal maps. Second question also, in January, the air over the oceans is warmer than over the land masses in the northern hemisphere. Almost a similar question has been asked regarding the isotherms. So topic got repeated. In 2024, there was a question with respect to Andes Mountains. The same question has been asked in deeper, UPSC usually do that, right? In the previous year, they will mostly ask a surface level question with respect to that topic. And then in the next year or the coming years, they will dive deeper into the same. So UPSC expect you to know about all the options that UPSC is asking. That's why you need to focus on the PYQ content. So regarding Andes Mountains, you can see here in 2024 UPSC asked about papaya. How many of the above trees are naturally native to India? And in 2025 UPSC asked about the same thing regarding papaya, but UPSC expect you to know whether it was introduced by the Portuguese, Dutch or any other European colonial powers, right? So UPSC asked about the same papaya. Aragata was asked in 2016. The same Aragata was asked in 2025. 2019 state governments have the power to frame rules to prevent illegal mining. The same question regarding the power of the state government and the minerals. In India, state government has no power for making rules for the grant of concession, which is completely incorrect here. 2019 self-respect movement, 2025 self-respect movement. But I would say it's more of a current affairs question because it was a 100th year anniversary of the self-respect movement, right? Self-respect movement happened in 1925. Natural Gas Petroleum Regulatory Board in 2019, same was asked in 2025, but it was a very hard question, let me tell you. So what do you have to do? At least, let me tell you, 5 years of content you have to study. Okay. Now, if you feel that you don't have time to study from 2016 to 2021, you can completely ignore the same. Because, at least you need to revise twice. Then only it will be there in your mind. So if you want to ignore that, definitely you can ignore that. But do make sure that at least from 2021 to 2025, 5 years of PYQ content, you need to study the same. Now, as I said before, if you're part of Dominant Prelims, you know that we are providing the content regarding the same. But if you're not part of the Dominant Prelims, just make sure that you can refer to some other academy out there and make sure you study the same. Because 8 questions were repeated, as you can see here, in the last 10 years in 2025. More number of questions were there. Mattavilasa Vichitrashita about Mahendravarman was asked in 1993. The same question was asked in 2025. But it's not possible for you to learn close to 30 years of content, right? It's completely impossible for you to do the same. So at least 5 years of content you have to do. If you have time, go for 10 years of content. We'll be providing the 10 years of content. So if you've already done as a part of Dominant Prelims the 5 years of content which I am posting, go for 10 years of content. Okay. Now, the next most important thing is the current affairs. Do make sure that current affairs is the first priority. Okay. Close to 38 questions came in 2025. So the first thing, focus on the current affairs. If only time permits after reading the current affairs, you go with the weaker areas, you go with the next year wala questions, the non-negotiables that I just told you, and also the micro themes. This is going to be the key area. And for current affairs, already we have provided you the revision material for the same, for each and every current affairs. But if you're focusing on any other material as well, be it PT or be it any other material of the same, do focus on that, but make sure that you don't add any other current affairs from today. What you have studied, you just revise the same. No additional current affairs starting from today, or at least in the last 14 days. So basically the golden rule is that 10 years of PYQs you need to do. You need to practice the questions as well. After practicing the same, study the content. Whatever time permits, dedicate each and every day for every particular subject. Now, how do you do that? Let's say polity, pehle current affairs pado, then the weaker areas, then the most important hot topics, then the micro themes. This is what you have to do. And also on 23rd, if you want to break the day, if you want to rest, make sure you have proper rest regarding the same, because iski pehle 3 din hai na, we are doing exactly like UPSC 2023 GS, 2023 CSAT. So you'll be very tired. So make sure you get ample amount of rest regarding the same. Make sure you're hydrated. Delhi is very hot abhi. All the places are very hot abhi. So make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you have some good food, mostly liquid, steam-based food, not any fried chickens. Don't go to Jama Masjid and have oily things or something. So maintain your physical fitness as well as your mental fitness as well. Also, one more thing. If you want to buy the logical elimination course, you can scan the QR code here. And also in almost all of our YouTube videos, we have provided the link to buy the same. Also, you can go to the Civilsdaily website and also buy the same as well. Okay? So elimination techniques, master the same, because that is going to be the differentiating factor. Master the PYQ content, at least for the last 5 years, and also focus on the current affairs. And then, as I said before, and also one most important thing, focus on the question solving as well. Right. Now, when you actually solve the PYQs, make sure that you master the language. You are underlining everything. For example, 3 things you have to circle in every question. What are the 3 things? It's firstly the general and the extreme words. Can, may, some, mainly, primarily, significantly, and all the other extreme words and the general words. Second thing, you have to underline or circle the fact. 1993, is it a particular year? Is it a particular ministry? Is it a particular state? Everything. And then the third and the final most important thing, whether it's correct or incorrect. So do make sure that you are underlining, circling each and everything when you do the paper. Make sure you have a proper time management and round-based approach. Make sure you finalize everything by the May 10th or May 14th, which should be your last FLT. And also one more thing, everyone. If you want to have a final practice regarding how to do the FLTs, Civilsdaily's 3rd open mock test is going to be conducted on May 13th. So do register for the same. The registration link is provided in our Telegram channel, in our YouTube community post, and also in our website as well. So do register for the same. The questions will be mostly easy to medium. Don't worry regarding the same. We won't be making the questions harder because we know that it will demotivate you more. So the questions will mostly be based on current affairs, PYQ content, and the elimination techniques. All the patterns, 5x3, 6x4 and everything, you can apply there and get good marks because we are training you for that, right?